Hi guys, a quick pickups. Trying to tidy the room today, and as usual just a little pile of pickups to put away, and actually a little pile this time rather than a huge backlog, so that's good. Haven't been picking up much lately. So first bit is this Supervectrex Multicart, and that's from Jason Kopp. So Jason Kopp makes these multicarts really cheap on Facebook. He posts them on Facebook, and yeah, it's a really good little multi-cart. I've got a couple of multi-carts already. This one's really cool. It's got some good bits on it. It's got an LED light that kind of flashes different colours while it's running. Might get a case for this. I'd quite like to get a transparent case for it, just because of the you know, the LED light. And this is number 1593, so he's made at least 1500, probably 2000 by now. But I actually ordered two of these because the shipping to UK is quite expensive, so it made sense to me to get two and then move one on, so another tube is going to have the other one. This one was a random little charity shop find. I wouldn't normally buy stuff like this because I only really like to get the big box games, or I'll just download them and put them on my DOS PC. But been really into the DOS PC lately, and I saw this in the charity shop. So Jedi Knight, Dark Forces 2. I never really played Dark Forces 2. I was a huge fan of Dark Forces, but Dark Forces 2 never really got into, and that's a 2 CD. It's just the dual case, but it had both CDs in there, so that's just in my little CD wallet now, that I keep all my DOS games in, or CD-based DOS games in. And yeah, DOS games getting a lot of use lately, which is cool. Since I got that new DOS PC, just been playing so much DOS. It's really cool. This one, I kind of regret buying it. It's one of those things that just was an impulse buy. Now, I don't really buy BBC micro games, because the BBC that I got off Alex Nintendo Arcade years ago now, it has an SD card in with all the games, but I have a lot of nostalgia for this particular series of compilations, and I kind of didn't really understand what I was buying, so I thought I was buying it's Play It Again Sam 3 and 4, but I thought I was buying them individually, so there would be 3 and 4 separate, because normally they would come individually. Play It Again Sam is a series of compilations released for the BBC Micro, and they did, I mean, God knows how many. I think they did at least 15 over the years. But when I used to play the BBC Micro at my mate's house, he had quite a few of these Play It Again Sams, and they're really nostalgic. And this one, number 3, is one of the most nostalgic to me. And it has Commando, so it has a port of the Capcom arcade game Commando on. It has Palace of Magic, which was an awesome BBC game. And then it has Killer Gorilla and Killer Gorilla 2, and they are basically rip-offs of Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong 2. But this compilation I loved, and you know what, it's really hard to get stuff like this on floppy disk now for the BBC. You're more likely to find them on tape, but it was always floppies that I kind of you know, that we used, and I had nostalgia for. And Play It Again Sam 4 on the other side has some cool games like Fracon, but I never played that one back in the day. So my hope was that this would come as 2 separate games, and I would sell Play It Again Sam 4 and keep Play It Again Sam 3, because it was quite a good deal for the pair. But now, knowing that they're all in one, and you can see you've got the floppies for both there. Let me just check. Yeah, it is double-sided floppy, so all the games are there. But if I'd have known it was going to be all in one, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But hey ho, you know, lesson learnt. This one is, or these two actually, are modern. They're still sealed. Now this one is one of my favourite Switch games, and I only have it digitally, and I kind of missed out when they did the limited run, and that is Golf Story. And that is still sealed because I actually own it digitally on the Switch. So I really wanted a physical copy of this, but the limited run games tend to, you know, people tend to sell them on eBay for a bit of a rip-off price. This one was probably listed at slightly more than I was willing to pay, but I had a £15 like Nectar voucher, so it ended up working out about 40 quid, so I was happy with that. I'm not really going to spend Nectar points on anything, so I didn't mind using them. But yeah, Golf Story is awesome if you haven't played it. It's like a 2D top-down golf game, but with kind of RPG elements and a story mode and everything, and it's really fun. Such a great game. Definitely recommend it. I think there's a sequel coming out something like Sports Story, where it's going to incorporate other sports other than golf. So really looking forward to seeing what they do with the sequel. But it's definitely a great game. If you can't get it physical because it can be quite pricey, then it's cheap on the store. It sometimes goes into the sale. I didn't spend much on the digital copy. And this one is a game that I have owned for many years, pretty much since it came out, and then last year I sold it because it went crazy, and I sold it for 80 quid on eBay, and that is the Puppeteer. Really cool little PS3 game, and yeah, I own this again. I own this digitally, but I always wanted to keep a physical copy. So when they went crazy last year, and I sold my copy on eBay for 80 quid. My copy was still sealed, just like this one. This one is sealed. And I thought, I'll just keep an eye out for a cheap copy. And I've even got a spare sleeve over there. So I thought if a CD, you know, a disc-only copy comes up, then I can kind of Frankenstein it with my sleeve that I've got and get a cheap copy, because I don't mind it being open. I mean, it's only sealed because I've got it digital anyway. But this popped up a couple of weeks ago on eBay, buy it now, 15 quid. So I just jumped on it. But then again, you know, I'm still keeping my eye out for a loose disc or a cheap opened copy, because if that pops up, then again, I will move this on. So this might end up being a stopgap, but I do want to have it physical, so it's a kind of just in case. Sorry, I had to do a little cut there because the missus started hoovering downstairs, very noisy. This next one is a gift from a tuber. I have another gift haul here, a huge gift haul, the craziest set of gifts I've ever had while being on YouTube, so that's going to be in a separate video. But this one I actually got ages ago, just after my last pickup, so it's been sat here for ages. And this is from Paul Retrobate, and I'll leave a link to his channel down in the description. And there's a note here which will go in my little stash of notes. Hi Pete, just something to say thanks for your help. I remember seeing you were missing this from your collection. Cheers, Paul. And he's right, I was missing this because this is a series of games that I used to really love, and it's the only one in the series I don't have, and that is Cool Borders on PS1. And what Paul was referring to is I did my top 10 PS1 games a while back. So if you look back on my main channel, you'll see how long ago that was. And I said that you know, Cool Borders was up there, but I actually found that I didn't own the first game. I only owned 2, 3 and 4. So that's completed my Cool Borders series. Thanks very much, Paul. And yeah, like I said, go and check out his channel. Really great guy, good community guy. He does the Retro Gamer quiz every other Wednesday, which is really fun, which I've taken part in a couple of times, and it's fun to watch and play along with, you know, in the comments and everything. Next one is a big box game. It's the only big box game in this haul, and that is an Amiga game. Now this one is a game that I've got very fond memories of on Amiga and DOS, but for some reason it just doesn't come up on eBay very often. And not to say that it's particularly desirable or expensive, because it wasn't. I think it ended up costing me about 8 quid. But yeah, it just never seems to come up. I've had a save search on this for years and just, you know, never managed to grab one. But yeah, it's 4D sports driving. If you're watching from North America, this was called Stunts over there, but we got it renamed here because it was published by Mindscape in Europe, and they just renamed it from Stunts to 4D sports driving to fit into their 4D sports series of games. So they had 4D sports boxing and this, that and the other. So yeah, same game, just different name. And let's have a look inside. It's got like a sleeve on, and then you've got the main box, and then yeah, not too much inside. There's a loading and installation instructions, a little postcard registration card, and then 2 discs there, 2 floppies, and a really absolutely fantastic condition manual. Really nice condition. Oh, I say that, but it's actually creaking as I open it. So it's obviously been, you know, very stiff. So quick reference card for the IBM PC/Tandy. And then has it got a bit on the Amiga? Or is it just, maybe that that separate little thing is included in the Amiga one. So you kind of just get the PC instructions, and then they put in an extra little bit for the Amiga version, which makes sense, I guess. But yeah, really cool game. It's like it's obviously a driving game, but you could create your own tracks, like 3D tracks. And the 3D graphics are very primitive, but for the time, you know, it must have been what, 1990? Yeah, it is 1990. For the time, it was really cool 3D graphics. And yeah, you can make your own tracks, and you could put like jumps and loop-de-loops and corkscrews and all this other jazz in. And me and my mates would just sit there and we'd like create tracks, and then you drive the tracks. It's really, really fun. Next thing is something that just came the other day, and it's the latest issue of Sega Powered, issue 2 of Sega Powered. Now this is a magazine being created recently by a few of the guys that, you know, very frequent on the Facebook groups like Galaxy Sega and what have you. And yeah, a load of fans and like magazine fans have started their own magazine called Sega Powered. It's really cool. I'll leave a link down in the description where you can go and you can subscribe, or you can buy an individual copy. You know, really, really cool little thing. But yeah, one of the reasons I bought this was because one of the guys messaged me and kind of showed me a screenshot that I'm in the magazine, and I'm just trying to trawl through and find it here. Yeah, there's a little page there with some YouTubers. It says Sega World is a closer look each month at the craze the young people are calling the World Wide Web, blah 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 blah. And it's just a list of kind of, you know, people who do online stuff like YouTube and what have you. And there's some quite big channels in here, and then there's me, so that's nice. But yeah, I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm just there. Yeah, and there's a little QR code you can scan to go to my channel. I thought that was cool. That's not nice of them to include me, so yeah, I thought I'd pick that up. And then the last thing is something that I bought on Swap Shop. Now Swap Shop is a show run by Lee, Retro Chef. I think again every couple of weeks he does it, or maybe he does it once a month now, I can't remember. But yeah, he does it on Sunday nights, and I've been on that a couple of times, and it's basically a chance for everyone to come together and chat and also do some trades or sell their stuff. And I was on one of them recently with Alex, Nintendo Arcade, who I mentioned earlier, and he had this for sale and he sold it to me for a fantastic price. Yeah, we were hoping it would arrive a little while ago because it kind of went missing in the post, and I got a bit worried. And yeah, you know what, he paid just crazy money. Because I never used the post office. The post office charged him so much money to send this, it was insane. And I messaged him saying, "You're crazy, mate, you could have sent it with a courier or whatever." And I think he thought I was saying it was his fault it had gone missing, which obviously I wasn't, and had a laugh about that. But yeah, post office absolutely useless, especially in my area lately. But this, yeah, I had to go online and rearrange for them to deliver on a certain day, and then thankfully it did then arrive, so it hadn't gone missing. But this is an arcade stick, and it's in the box. Let me just show you the front of the box. So it's an NES 30 arcade stick, and you can use it on the Switch, or you can use it on you know, Windows and what have you. So yeah, it's quite cool. Let me just undo it, get it out. I think has it got Bluetooth? I can't remember because I haven't actually used this yet. I think it's got Bluetooth, but you can also like use it on USB. But yeah, it's quite good to have a decent kind of PC arcade stick anyway, because I do sometimes do stuff on PC, and it's good for always good to have a stick for the Switch. And yeah, it looks really nice. It's really heavy. It's got a nice metal base with like rubber feet. It is actually quite well made. It's not the greatest arcade stick ever, but it is really nice and it looks great. I'm just half thinking, do I want to replace everything with Sanwa parts and do like a cool color scheme and change the joystick and everything? But what I'm going to do is just kind of keep it for a while and see how much I actually use it first, because if I end up not using it much, it's probably not worth investing in putting the arcade parts in, because it will probably cost me as much as I paid again to change all the parts. But if I end up using it a lot, then yeah, that's something I'll definitely consider doing. But it looks cool, and yeah, really chuffed with that. Cheers for that, Alex, much appreciated. So yeah, that's it. That's my very short, hopefully, pickups. There aren't many bits there, but like I said, I just want to kind of tidy this place today and get everything put away, so always good to do a little pickups. And yeah, as I mentioned, that big haul of stuff, that gift stuff, I will do a video on that at some point, and you can see that as well. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Sorry my main channel's been very quiet lately, but just so busy, and I'm working on one big project for that channel, which I've been working on for well over a year, since last January, so eventually that will appear. Hopefully that will appear in the first half of this year, once I can get everything finished and all that. But yeah, cheers for watching, peace.